and Sheets.
Welcome back, Stamp Tramps, to Attempted Delivery. I'm Damianopoulos.
And I'm Sean Dick and Sheets.
And the results of the poll are in.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad because, like, I put this poll up and I was expecting the exact opposite of the... So the poll from last week, we were talking and teasing about the roast, which we'll get into in a little bit. So I just threw up a thing like who you got, who you're rooting for in the polls.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. But 9 votes total. 7 had me.
Hell yeah.
And 2 had you.
Congratulations. Yeah, I didn't vote. I should have voted for me.
I voted for you.
So one person thought I'd win. That's hilarious.
That's not a joke. I can show you. Like,
No,
there's a little check mark. I voted for you. So I 100% expected that poll to be exactly the opposite. I was like, now who's likable? But yeah, we'll get into the roast in a bit. Kind of a clusterfuck. We almost shit the bed, but we love you, Stamp Tramps, so we pulled some strings. Again, we'll explain it a bit. So we still have us roasting each other to play for you.
Hell yeah.
For your listening enjoyment. But we'll get into that in a little bit. What else is going on this week?
Man, I don't know. Is there anything going with you for the week? I don't think I did. I don't think anything.
The kid is like talking a little bit more. Like,
yeah,
she has kind of said mama, dada, cat, and apparently the other day she said milk.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So she's getting there.
Hell yeah.
Almost walking. She can kind of pull herself up and like kind of take a step and then just fall over like a drunk.
Yeah. Just like Dad.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder where she gets it. But no, she's awesome. I cannot believe she's 11 months already. It's wild.
Oh wow, yeah, it's November. Jeez, yeah. I can't believe it's November.
It's
I kind of forgot
wild.
it's about to be Thanksgiving.
I was like, what the hell happened to the past year? It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome, and what about you?
I don't think I have shit going on.
Word.
Since we were talking about roasting, we can talk about Kendrick Lamar dropped a new album.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously, because after the year he's had, of course he was going to come out with a new album. But he actually takes a shot at Andrew Shultz in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
All right.
It says something. I forget the actual quote, but remember? Did we talk about it on here when he got in, like a little bit of shit for like making fun of black women or something? Or did we even? I can't remember if we talked about it.
I don't think
here.
so. No, I don't think so.
I thought we did, but either way, he made like a joke during a podcast and got like a little bit of backlash, but not a whole lot. There actually was some. There was some backlash, but it was mostly from like a podcast, like a British podcast. They were on the on Flagrant.
Right. I do remember that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, they
ended up like apologizing and stuff. Said they like because they were talking about like
the guests they had on. They were like laughing. They were in the conversation and everything, but then they like
backtracked and
they backtracked and said and like they didn't protest at all in the moment.
No,
but after the fact, we're saying like, yeah, sorry, like we don't want to associate with that, like trying to distance themselves from it.
Yeah.
And then I do remember the episode with Shultz like kind of calling them out a little bit, like, you know, you didn't protest when you were here. Everything was cool. We asked if you wanted to cut anything. You didn't want to cut anything.
Well, yeah, they did cut something else too. That's the funny thing because they were like, oh, that's funny. You did cut something out of the episode, but apparently that didn't come to mind
until they started getting the backlash for it. So
yeah, and it's worse because when they were apologizing for it, they like literally said like we were, you know, it's kind of like fight or flight when you're in a situation like that. It's like holy shit, okay, relax. Like yeah, it's hilarious. I can't even. I wonder if people like bought that. Like if people that were mad at them were like, oh, I'm not mad at you anymore because you were in a traumatic situation talking to a podcaster. But yeah, no, so yeah, he got in trouble. I mean, he didn't, I don't even know if he got back. He got like a little bit, I guess. But yeah, let me look up the exact quote. He basically says like, "Don't ever let a white comedian talk about a black woman. That's law." And then he said like, "Fuck everyone close to you."
Oh, shit.
So basically, fuck Charlemagne the God and like everybody on the podcast or whatever.
Wow. All right.
But damn, that dude's fucking having a year. Fucking between Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, and fucking Andrew Schultz, they're all having a pretty killer year. But no, it was just sick. But the album is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a little weird. I don't know why. The only weird thing, it's like the album. It's called what the hell? GS. I totally forget. I'm blanking. It's a Grand National. It's like a Buick Grand National, but GNX.
Alrighty.
It's literally on my Spotify.
Is while you're looking that up, is there still
GNX? That's just
GNX.
sounded for some reason when I said it, it didn't sound right. I guess GNX.
Huh.
But
is there still like the whole thing with Drake and everything? I didn't.
Not really.
Follow
There's
that
not
at
really
all.
much left.
Is that over? Or
I mean, it's Drake is over.
Okay.
I think he like pretty much. I mean, Drake has been pretty quiet since then. Yeah.
okay, yeah, I didn't really follow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't follow it like that closely, but it was hard not to because if like you're
Right.
listening to any hip hop at the time, it was like, but yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, Drake has not done it. I think Drake might have sued him for.
oh shit.
Oh yeah, I think I actually saw there was a lawsuit where he's suing some record label or something and maybe streaming services for artificially inflating like Kendrick's song and making it bigger than it was, which is like nice try, buddy.
Right.
Like it was a huge song. There's no
And how is that provable?
Yeah, and also like did you see like the thousands of people sharing it and shitting on you with the song? Like, that wasn't inflated. That was humans. There was human beings talking shit on you the whole time. Like, I don't think that was artificially inseminated, inflated. But yeah, it's a pretty dope album, honestly. The only weird, like I said, it's weird because it's like, it's like a Buick, like a Buick Grand National, if you know anything about cars.
A little bit.
It's like a really sick car that they made back in like, I think 70s and 80s.
Alrighty.
But my friend actually had a Regal, like a regular Regal that was like of the same years. It was just like a dope Buick that was like this crazy ass like muscle car that wasn't really that like, it wasn't like a Corvette or anything. It was just like a crazy ass.
I remember one of my brother's first cars. I wish I knew what it was. It was a Buick. It wasn't a muscle car by any means, but it was like a gold color, like tan leather interior. I'm trying to remember what Buick.
Like a Park Avenue?
No.
Or is that a Lincoln? I don't remember.
No, I don't think it was a Cutlass Supreme. I don't remember what it was, but I remember one of his friends just saying it smelled like vagina and crayons.
It's red. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's just like a sick muscle car, but it's just weird because like it's weird because Kendrick Lamar usually has like, I mean, not that this album is still like a really like artistic, like well thought out album, but then like the cover and like the name is like a Buick.
Huh.
You know what I mean? It's like weird because his other albums aren't really like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like an odd.
What's that statement?
I guess he just likes Buick. Literally in the album he talks about
this is a classic or like
maybe.
You know, I don't know what the angle is, but
it's possible. Yeah, you thought of it quicker than I did. I never really. Yeah. But
I could also be entirely off base, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. No, I mean it's as good a guess as any, but there probably is a meaning for it. But it's just interesting that like he went with that when none of his other. It's not like he's like other people have albums where they're like in front of like Bentleys and shit, but his never were really like that. They were always like pretty clear that they were like an artistic. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but either way, the album is fucking fantastic. But it's like the first song too. He kind of just like it's kind of almost like a diss track on like everyone that he didn't already diss. He basically said, and then like in that song, he says like the only person that congratulated me for the fucking Super Bowl was Nas. Everybody else, no one else said anything or whatever. But and he actually has a bar where he's talking about. He's like, I think my success let Lil Wayne down. Because like the Super Bowl's gonna be in New Orleans, and Lil Wayne is from New Orleans,
right,
and for some reason isn't headlining the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But they picked a different rapper. I mean, obviously Kendrick Lamar is like big this year, but still, it's kind of weird that you go to Like,
I mean, they never have just one person. Why wouldn't they have?
I know it is
both or
it's weird that like they wouldn't have Lil Wayne do it and then just have Kendrick Lamar go.
Right.
But it's weird because it's in New Orleans and Lil Wayne is the New Orleans rapper.
Right.
Like Kendrick is from L.A. It's not even close. You know what I mean? It is weird. It is a weird choice. And then there was a bunch of like articles about how bad Lil Wayne is live. Not even articles. They would just show like videos of like shit, and it actually like, as much as I don't usually pay attention to the media, it actually kind of like tricked me into thinking, oh, I guess that kind of tracks if he's like trash live.
Is he the one who has the videos of where he's like has a guitar on, but he's playing it like?
Oh, I don't know.
Like awful. Like
it's possible. He had
like he made
a rock album, which that could be. That could be it, but that wasn't even what I was seeing. I was just seeing like just not good, tight performances. And then like I remember seeing somebody had said on like a podcast that like, no, he's good live. Like that was kind of bullshit. I'm like, oh God, they got me. I like Lil Wayne, and I was like, oh, I guess he's not good live. So I just kind of like accept, because I saw a couple of videos that weren't great, and I'm like, oh shit, they fucking tricked me. I totally thought that like they had a good point, and maybe they didn't. I don't know, but either way. But yeah, I don't know. I did think it was funny though. I had this thought today that it had the NFL, because I have a joke right now that I'm trying to work on, or I'm trying to get to work like better about like NFL, about like penalties and how they're cracking down on like the penalties for like guns, like finger guns and shit like that. Right. I guess bow and arrow was something else people were doing. And it just occurred to me like the NFL's doing that, and then simultaneously are letting some dude headline that was a part of the most aggressive rap beef within the last like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly no violence in rap music.
No, well, it's not even like the music part. It's like he literally was calling another rapper a pedophile. That's like what he's big for right now. It's just like a funny choice.
And there's like a huge percentage that the Chiefs will be in, and there's going to be like 60,000 people doing a tomahawk chop.
Think about that. They don't ban that. Yeah.
Right.
I hope the Chiefs aren't in it. They can stop. It would, as much as I like to see people like fucking dominate, it's like they don't, it would be, I mean, I can't say that because I'm a Steelers fan, so I want us to go. But.
Quick side note, with the rappers. So this morning at work we had like a safety meeting and that kind of thing, and then they did this thing where they like the exit to our office where everyone drives out in the mail trucks, they had this thing set up that was supposed to bring attention to like don't hit inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Which is like generally my goal anytime I'm driving, not just when delivering the mail. I generally drive and avoid stationary objects.
Yeah.
Moving objects too, for that matter.
I think when they do this, can they just get the people who've had accidents and make them do it?
You would think.
I've been 8 years and no accidents. Can we?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, can I maybe not have to listen to this every time?
Yeah. So I get up finally, and I'm like already annoyed. And I'm like 3 cars back or 3 trucks back, and I see the guy is like kind of like animated. It's a young dude and a woman. They just like ask you questions like, okay, if you are trying to see this cone, which mirror
did
do
you get the questions
in?
right?
Yeah. And then, but I was not in the fucking mood for this guy who was like way too cheery in the morning.
Yeah,
he was like aggressively. I don't know if you noticed that. He was like aggressively.
He didn't talk much to me for some reason.
Oh no, he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you doing to make this go faster?"
Yeah.
And I swear his vibe. The reason the rapping made me think of it, I swear this guy was just about to be like, "I'm a postal safety guy, and I'm here to say," like a fucking generic cheesy 80s 90s rap.
Yeah.
I was like, I will run you over. And I wanted so bad, like, okay, so there was these 2 plastic things you had to just avoid the sides of.
Yeah,
and
they
basically
were like,
just drive straight.
Yeah, and it was like PVC pipe, basically, but like a tower, so that you had to drive under it, which is funny. It's like, well, okay, so, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, don't drive under anything lower than that. What's that?
Yeah,
There's no measurement or anything. It's like, yes, I'm not going to drive under anything that's lower than the top of the mail truck. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, there was 2 cones that were like, yeah, just want to make sure you avoid those. I wanted so bad to just run over the cone and just keep,
on the way. I'd be
keep
like,
going.
Awesome, yeah, thank you, and then just drive over a cone on the way out. I literally,
keep going.
I thought the same thing. I was like, it'd be so hilarious.
I was so ready for that guy to break into like a cheesy 80s like after school special rap about postal
they already had
safety.
somebody dress up as a dog, so that's
exactly
if they're gonna do that.
exactly.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, and well, the funny thing about that, she had 2 questions, and she started asking the first question, and I zoned out. I was not paying attention. And she's like, so yeah, which mirror would you look out for that? And I was like, the front pot lid mirror. There's 2 front. And she was like, good. And I was like, that's funny because there's 2 of them. I didn't specify which one. So I just guessed which mirror. And then the second one, I was paying attention. So I'm like, it'd be the square. And I was just like, yeah, it was just so funny that I just like... It just instinctually was like the pot lid mirror, and it fucking I didn't say which one. It was just I thought that was funny. I was like, hell yeah, I fucking nailed it.
Well, even funnier, I almost ran over a person walking their dog today. I turned this corner that has like this large like bush / tree and I turned the corner. And I wasn't like going crazy fast. So I was paying attention, but the dude was walking the dog on the wrong side. Well, technically walking, you're supposed to go against traffic, but he was like,
so you can see
not in the lane.
Yeah.
It was a neighborhood, quiet neighborhood, so maybe just wasn't expecting. But I turned the corner, he was like right there. It would have been like real easy to like just, you know what I mean? But I mean, luckily I saw him and didn't, but it was close.
Yeah,
like I didn't see him till I was like right up on him.
If you weren't paying attention, you'd have been.
But it would have been his fault for walking in the middle of a lane instead of against the side of the road, you know?
Yeah, there was some... Oh, yeah, there was like... there was like kids walking across the street today. That's what I was... Something was like in my... I was like, why is this sounding so familiar? I didn't almost hit anybody, but like there was like kids like walking across... teenagers walking across the fucking street. This shit drives me crazy. I hate it so much. Listen, I skate. I would skate in the street all the time, but I never took that shit for granted. I had friends that like would like be pretty ballsy. I'm like, dude, you're going to get hit by a car. And I'm not really going to feel that bad about it because like I'm constantly looking both ways. Maybe I'm a bitch, but either way, I'm not trying to get hit by a car because cars are what's in the street.
I'd rather be a live bitch than a dead badass.
Exactly.
You know?
and these kids were like walking across the street and fucking... I was passing a parked vehicle, and I was driving like past. I was coming up on the parked vehicle and passing it, and they were like walking directly across the street. Literally, I mean, I was like feet away from them. Like they were like fucking trying to like big dick me. I'm like, don't do this. Like you're gonna get sideswiped. I'm not doing this. Like I'm fucking driving and I have to drive around this car. So go ahead. Like I don't know how much I believe. I know there's like kind of thing where like the pedestrian's usually in the right because they're a pedestrian. I don't really fuck with that. I don't believe it's like I don't understand. It's so actually one of my friend's brothers got hit by a car like twice, and I don't know if he was doing anything wrong, but it's usually hard to get hit by cars. I think. I feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That drives me crazy. I can't stand that shit. People just like in the middle of this. It's like, dude, I don't understand this. Like, why is this worth fucking possibly losing your life to be like? I don't understand it. It's like it's just so stupid. Just don't be walking in the street. Yeah, they're just walking across the street like mad slow. Literally, if I would have slowed down, they would have walked 100%. I would have had to stop, and they would have walked in front of me. It's like, dude, is this like... I know they're teenagers, but like, they could take a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could take a hit and learn a few lessons. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind. They like... I was never that. I was never that like punk teenager, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I skated, so I don't know what my excuse is. Like I was supposed to be the fucking skater punk. Like, you know, I don't know. It just blows my mind that I was never like that dumb.
And what fucking like little dick energy to like flex on the mailman, like
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Normal
Like,
car's fine, but like, come on, I'm on the clock, man.
but at the same time, we're driving vehicles we do not care about. So
True, yeah.
you don't want to get blood on the Mustang, but the that's just
true.
gonna blend in with the red, white, and blue. So.
God bless America. No, stupid, very stupid. But yeah, I don't know. In closing, Kendrick's album's fantastic.
Nice. Was there any response from Shultz yet?
No, it just came out over the weekend.
All right. So that
I think it just came out literally over the weekend, I think.
All right. So that episode's happening this week. I'm
yeah,
sure.
it'll happen. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow they'll fucking have an episode.
Which reminds me, I know we talked a bit about it a few episodes ago with the whole political stuff going in with the podcasts, the various podcasts, not just Schultz's. And actually, Anthony Jeselnik, who was on, whose special drops today.
Oh shit!
Actually, excited for that. He was on Mark Maron's podcast promoting it, which is a good episode. You know, just talking shit, talking comedy. They definitely have like a mutual respect for each other, even though like wildly different style wise.
Yeah.
But they like definitely, you know, you can tell they respect each other and that kind of thing. But Justin kind of like articulated, I think, a little bit better and a little bit more of what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
That it's not like necessarily like, regardless of which side, it's more about like, I don't understand why it wasn't approached from like a humorous comedy standpoint. Like if you're not making fun of it in some way, like kind of like, are you just chilling?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and yes, I know they said they reached out and the other side didn't want to do it either.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, I definitely get that point. Like they would have had the other side on too. But would they have like shilled as hard? I do feel like they're very good at calling out bullshit, but they're a little selective about it, and they do like the smell of their own farts a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like almost like taking credit.
I mean, are you really
it.
you saying they like the smell of their own farts and you're talking about Anthony Jeselnik?
Well, true. But like he presents himself as like
snarky.
Well, as like my shit don't say. Like he presents himself as the like king shit of Turd Mountain.
Yeah.
Turd monster, fart monster. Like, in the name of comedy, not you know what I mean? Like so, and I'm not taking away from either. I'm still a fan of both.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of both. I'm not going to like stop listening because of it. But it articulated better where I was coming from. Like when it comes to like comedy's role in politics, I don't want to see anybody on any side saying, you know, get out the vote. And like he was making this point. Like, could you imagine Stanhope capping for fucking Kamala or Trump or like anybody rather than saying like, you know what I mean? I'm more of the again, that's why I wanted to play that Carlin thing. I'm more of the school of they're all fucking terrible and we should make fun of all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Not try to like push one side or the other. So that's he just articulated it a little better.
Yeah, I know you mean
than I did. So it's a good interview if you dig comedy. If you dig either Maron or Justin, it was good. He's also very good about not calling by name. Yeah. So somebody who didn't know, like, wouldn't even know who he's talking about. Yeah. But like comedy nerds, I know exactly who he's talking. Yeah. It's you know, I mean, it's not so vague that we wouldn't get it. Yeah. And even he was saying, he was like, if they're fucking with him, I have no problem with it at all. It's just like, I don't know. It seems outside of the realm of comedy, and not that you're not allowed to do that. It's just for me, I don't want to see any comics that I like shilling for any political party instead of just making fun of it. Yeah.
But I don't know if like, I mean, it's almost a different thing though, because it's not like their podcast is separate from their comedy. Right. It would be different if they were going on stage and like that was their material. They would be like odd, but like,
well, that was one of his points. He said on his podcast, which he's ending. I think
really?
Yeah, I think they're only doing 1 or 2 more episodes or so. Maybe coming back in the future, but that's vague.
Yeah.
But he was like, if you have these people on and you're not fucking with them, you're a podcaster, not a comedian.
Yeah,
and you can be both. They're not.
Yeah, but that's like
they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
But at what point are you more of one or the other? Like which? To me, like just as far as politics, I would rather go the funny route than the like campaigning for anybody in particular. So I don't want to derail because we have a ton of our own comedy to get to.
Sure.
But I just I wanted to shout out that his special's dropping today. I'm excited for that, and it was relevant to the Shultz thing. Mm-hmm. Just that he articulated a little bit better. Than I could have. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just like it's too. I don't understand why you can't have separate meat. Like,
sure,
there's two different things. Like Rogan's always been, his podcast is wildly different from, obviously because it's a podcast, but it's different from stand up. He's always like, I mean, nobody gave him shit when he had fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson on.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, like, and then I don't know. I just can't help but notice that it's like, you can hate whoever you want to hate, but like, didn't get nearly as much shit when he had Bernie Sanders on. Didn't have nearly as much shit when Flagrant had like Mark Cuban on.
Right.
Guy's like definitely like a Democrat.
And it was dumb of the left to not get involved with.
I mean, I guess I see why they didn't, because they were worried about like. I mean, you want,
but that's exactly
what the other side's not worried about.
Right, and exactly why it hurt them to not at least involve themselves in the conversation.
And it's like a huge section of like, well, and what's his name? Fetterman went on Rogan, and I watched that interview. It was like very interesting, and it's like, you get to see a politician not being a politician. Mm-hmm. Like when they're sitting there for like 3 hours, you see some of the humanity, like, and I fucking hate all of them so much. But like you see, like, okay, this is not like some fucking clone or whatever. Like this is like a human being that most of them, they all have severe flaws. But
I just feel like the interview specifically that they did with Trump, what I was getting at with the episode was like, they didn't really challenge him and they didn't really like fuck with him. There was a couple jokes.
Yeah.
But that coupled with the following episodes with like cheering, taking credit.
Well,
like,
I
mean, that's like partially
he's going to lean
humor.
in. Yeah.
He's going to lean into it. But
which, speaking of, I think he should fucking... because I know artists don't always like know what's going on with like the rights to their music. He should fucking lean into the Kendrick thing and fucking, because he's recording a special soon, buy the rights to head to that song and fucking
come out to it.
Yeah, it'd be so funny. But yeah.
Right.
Like the same thing with what's his name. And that was like one thing I know, because he says in the song like, don't ever let a white comedian speak about black women or whatever. It's like, dude, Eminem just had fucking, in one of his songs on his like new album, was like, he literally says that like Candace Owens forgot she was black, which is like, that's not more like, objectively, isn't that more offensive than making like a joke about how black women hit their husbands? Saying a black woman doesn't know that she's black, that's like kind of objectively more offensive. But if it's like, he just probably agrees.
Though he was talking
that.
about one specific person, not like all black women
that's
do
true.
this.
Yeah, you're right. It isn't a generalization, but it's also like, obviously the Shultz thing's like clearly a joke.
Right.
The other one's like not even a joke.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, because I did see some people like, hey, I don't really like that Eminem said that because he's a white dude, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Word.
But yeah, it was funny that what I said about like, he said about like Lil Wayne letting him down or letting Lil Wayne down or whatever. Lil Wayne like responded and said like something like, don't, like, I'm just trying to like chill over here. Don't like don't like. I basically like alluding to like, don't fuck with me. I'm just trying to chill. I'm not trying to fuck anybody up. It's like, I don't know if you should be saying that right now.
He probably doesn't want to get in a whole year-long beef like Drake did.
Well, he was almost insinuating that like you don't want it with him.
Okay.
That's kind of like, and it's almost like he took because the Kendrick's line was like,
maybe he does because it's not going to hurt his album sales if there's another beef.
Exactly. But I'm saying like Kendrick wasn't being. He was like he's like I think I let Lil Wayne down by landing the Super Bowl because now it's not him or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Invite him on with you. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like he should be on it. I mean,
right.
Big Boy did fucking with Maroon 5 in Atlanta. It's like if they can fucking collab, I feel like they have songs together too. They can literally do one of their songs. I don't know.
Maybe it's all marketing, and he's gonna pop out or come upside down,
Maybe,
like coming in upside down.
But he was
down,
he was like publicly like disappointed though. Like made a statement
right.
and shit about being like upset that he didn't get booked for the Super Bowl or whatever.
It's all part of the spectacle. I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything.
After the Tyson fight, you don't trust anything.
I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything. There's far too much money involved. And they have to keep topping themselves with the halftime shows and that kind of thing. So like
well. They can try.
Imagine all of this, and then he does surprise, pops out of the fucking stage, or you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't know. But we can get on to comedy because we got a lot to cover.
Oh, yeah.
Just go listen to that episode if you care.
Yeah.
It was just a good comedy thing with Marin and Justin. So what have we been doing?
Your show on Friday.
Yes. I was trying to remember. Yeah. So Friday was the Extra Give festival was at Zotropolis in Lancaster. And it was like a fundraiser to raise money for the arts and stuff in Lancaster. They actually exceeded their $15,000 goal.
Hell yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. And so the comedy, it was a whole mix of everything. It was like sketch, improv, music, and then Brandon is trying to like bring more stand up into that. And so he put together the showcase that kind of ended the night. And just so I don't forget anybody, let me look at the list. So Andrew Brooks did time and hosted. Yeah. And there was Jesse James Martin, myself, Kyle Ziegler, Malik Stark, and Brandon Koss closed it out. It was a really cool room. It's actually, I don't know have you ever been to Zotropolis?
No.
It was really cool. Like I was kind of confused like how to get into the place, but because there's a couple different entrances. You walk in, there's like a main like open room with like a dining room and a bar.
Yeah.
And then there's a side room with like a smaller bar and a little seating area, and they have like some like movie concessions there. They have like popcorn and stuff, and then there's a door that leads into an actual like theater.
Jeez, I thought it was like a restaurant.
It is, but it also has like a
theater.
Yeah,
interesting.
So there's an actual screen, so apparently they show cool movies there occasionally. Yeah. But then there's also a stage, so they could do like stuff on the screen or on the stage.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool room. Really like quiet room, if that makes sense. Like Brooks warned us like he had done some stuff. He was like, laughs don't travel well in this room because it's the theater. It's acoustically treated.
Yeah.
Like it was loud out there, but when you're in the theater, you can't hear the outside, and vice versa. So we are just kind of hanging out, all of us, when we get there. Just kind of waiting for the comedy portion. It was a festival, so it was really like timed out. Mm-hmm. It was like this is the time that this is happening, and then you get off the stage, and then and so forth. So we were following some kind of I think it was a sketch. I don't think they were improving. Mm-hmm. It was some kind of sketch. I'm not gonna. It was fine. Yeah. It was fine. But I was just ready for the stand up to happen.
Yeah.
So it starts. I feel like it was late in the night, and it was pretty pretty warm in there, and I feel like people were like a little lackadaisical, like, but I think everyone did well and got laughs. Again, it was hard to hear the laughs travel.
Yeah, it's always.
I think people had been there
like
for like I think some people just came for certain portions, and then some people might have been there all night or kind of came in and went.
Yeah.
Maybe went to the bar for an hour and then came back in, watched some stuff, and so by the end, I feel like a lot of people were just like.
Probably
tired.
if they were there for like longer than the show.
I saw a couple of people who were just kind of back in their chair, like watching, like just spaced out.
Yeah.
But overall, I think everyone did great. Nobody bombed by any means, and I think everyone had good sets. Hopefully, we showcased comedy, and they can start incorporating more stand up. So we have more stand up in the area, and never a bad thing. Well, depending, but yeah, it went well. My set felt a little painful. I did feel very rusty just because I haven't been doing much. I've been doing 1, maybe 2 mics a month and a couple shows a month. So I felt rusty, not getting laughs every time. Like I started getting a little self-conscious, but I kind of just did what Brooks said, was just like, you're not going to hear that, just keep hammering. Don't like stop because you're not like, just keep doing your thing. You're probably getting laughs that you're not hearing. So
it's always I'm kind of used to it more now, especially if it's a room. Could you see the audience?
Yeah,
that helps because then you can see people smiling or at least laughing or at least smiling.
Right.
Because then it's like, all right, well, you're at least not you don't hate me.
Right. I don't think anybody like didn't like me as far as my set. I'm not going to speak on anyone else's set. I don't think anybody like didn't like me, but it was a mix of people who were laughing and enjoying themselves. Excuse me. And then a few people who were just like spaced out, like, I just want to go home, I'm tired, but like didn't have the will to leave their seat. But overall, it was fun. Everyone had some funny shit. Brooks got a lot of traction out of this guy in the audience. A lot of good crowd work. But it was fun. I for sure want to do a show there, like like just like a straight up comedy show where people are. Because that's the thing too.
Well, not everybody was there for comedy. They were there for the whole thing.
They're either there for people they know, or they're there for the sketch or the improv or music, or just like a mix. Let me see what it's all about and check out. Not for any specific purpose, but like that. It's a really cool room that I would love to see, like just an actual, just straight up show where everyone's there to see stand up and that kind of thing. It was fun. I didn't get a ton of pushback.
Yeah.
I just did we all did 5 minutes. And I just did the like fertility stuff. I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
And I had like mostly new stuff or new-ish stuff or like a mix.
Yeah.
And I got there and I did exactly what we say always, like, that we should not do. And second guessed my set and just did like the quote unquote hits, like the stuff that I'm like super comfortable with. I don't have to think too much about. It's kind of like just muscle memory at this point. Because I got there and I was like, there is way more people than I was expecting. I had no idea what to expect. It was a bigger room than I was. I just didn't. I had no knowledge of it. So when I got there, I was like, oh, this is like a big fucking deal. Like not like outrageously big deal, but more than I was expecting. So I was like, let me not experiment in this situation. And but at the same time, the reception I got is like, I might as well have just done the other stuff. So that was one of those moments where it's like, I shouldn't just stuck with what my original intention, but I was happy with it. It was fine. And had fun, and would definitely love to do just like a straight up comedy show there. So.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a cool place.
Definitely a cool place we could just go check out.
Yeah.
After showing a cool movie or some other kind of show.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of different shows. But it was cool.
Hell yeah.
And then on Saturday, I almost came out.
Oh yeah.
But my dad came up. I was thinking it might be fun.
Oh, that's right. Who said that? Drew might have said that.
Brooks, I told him the night before because he was at the show. I was like, hey, I might come out tomorrow night. My dad's coming out. I think it might be fun to come out. But by the time he came up and we did dinner, like the timing didn't really work. Yeah. And I had stuff Friday and Sunday because we had the roast on Sunday. So I was just like, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to come because it's like literally the closest comedy show possible to me because it's like right on the other side of the river. So I wanted to come out, but I didn't. So
there was 2 seats waiting for you too.
Really,
2 empty seats. Yep.
Bastards. But how was that? Where was it?
It was fun. It was at the Susquehanna River Creative Conspiracy.
Alrighty.
And it's basically just like almost like I don't know how to describe it. I apologize if anybody's listening is offended how I'm about to describe this, but it's almost like a art studio kind of or whatever. And they have I think they have a bar upstairs maybe, but it's all like BYOB and stuff. So I'm not sure, but they have like a podcast studio. So they record podcasts there. And then they have like a little, not that little, but a room, like it's a little like, just like a room with a stage in it. It's it's interesting. It's like you walk in, and then there's like a little like area where they have like paintings and stuff. And then they do downstairs, and there's a room with the podcast studio.
Is it like local artists like for sale kind of paintings? Like some places do that. Okay,
some are for sale, but then there also looks like a studio too.
Okay.
Does that make? I've never been to an art studio, but I think that's what an art studio is, where they just display shit. And then they also looks like they work on stuff there too.
Okay.
So, and I think it's like a thing where a bunch of people like chip in and they do stuff there. They record podcasts. They play. It's like a practice space for bands.
Okay.
Stuff like that. And that's like the room we played, which was in they had like a stage, and then they had like a bunch of recording sound equipment and stuff, like a drum set. Apparently they do like a music open mic there that I think they think you can do like comedy there too on the open mics. But it's and it was just like a stage and then just like, chairs on the floor and stuff. But yeah, it was a cool little room, like very intimate, a lot like the small room at Phantom Power, basically, except with a little like a stage.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm trying to now I should have looked up who was on. So it was like Ali host, because Kyle Ziegler was going to host, but he couldn't make it. He had to work. And then so Ali Asif hosted, and then Corey Moore, me, Drew, Tyler Weggert, and Casey Nicholson, and then Manny closed it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It's I forget how many people, but it was like around like 20 people.
Right.
It might have been more, but it was a small room, so it filled out. And then plus all the people that came with comics.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think those were counted in the numbers, but either way, it was it was a good show. It was a fun little show. It was Ollie did a great job hosting. Everybody did well. It was a really fun little intimate show.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trying to think. I guess the 2 people that I knew just like randomly showed up there.
Nice.
I actually never asked her if that's why they were there or if they just happened to go there to see that there was comedy there.
Right.
But which was funny because she sat like right in the front row. So like I knew I saw them walking in. So I was like, oh shit. So it was like weird to just to do comedy in front of somebody I haven't seen for I don't know, 10 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even high school, middle school, I guess. If that, elementary school, maybe even. But it was just like random, just be like making eye contact with somebody I haven't seen in 10 years.
That's wild.
Yeah,
and jokes that
yeah,
it's not like hey, how's the weather? How you been? It's like
yeah, like I'm not clean. I mean, I'm not like filthy, but I'm not clean either. It's
right.
Let's fucking see how this goes. But yeah, it was a fun time. I did 10 minutes, and I had like a set, and I think when I listened to the recording, I went a little quick, which is why I started to run out, and I didn't get the light yet, and I'm like, I should have got the light by now. And so then I actually on the fly added jokes.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was like nice to. It's like getting to the point where it's like I'm comfortable enough to like wing it a little bit. But then I was also like, fuck, did I see the I don't even know why, because I should have just been doing whatever the fuck I want. I booked the show, or like I helped run the show. So I don't know why I was concerned with running the light. It's like I could just run the light. I mean, who cares? This isn't like a big deal. It doesn't matter at all.
Especially Ziggler didn't show up, so there was
Well, no, Ollie took his spot. So
okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to host, but then Ollie hosted instead. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it was like I could have just, I don't know why I like thought, oh shit, what if I got the light and didn't see it? But yeah, and then I eventually saw the light. So, but yeah, I was like, all right, well, what else? Let me fucking add some jokes here. Yeah. So I just added like a couple like shorter jokes. But yeah, it was a really fun room. They really enjoyed it. It was fun though. It was funny though. I noticed they were, at least in my, for how I felt, I felt like they were very intuitive, and like, you know how like people like they weren't laughing at setups.
Okay.
Which was funny, because usually like you might go to like set up a joke and it might get like chuckles, or like you can feel like people like there's some people like laughing and shit like that. It wasn't much of that.
Okay.
And it didn't, in the past, it probably would have like rattled me a little bit, because I'm like, wait, I'm used to getting a laugh before I get to the punchline, and now you're completely silent. But it was like a little bit of that I've noticed, and I was like, oh, I think they're just like waiting for the punchline. So I don't know if maybe they were like, some of them may have been like more comedy fans, so they were like looking
a little more comedy literate, or
yeah, or maybe they're smarter or something. Maybe it was just a smart crowd. I don't know, but
I need more of those.
You don't want them. But yeah, like I think it was just like I just like noticed that like some jokes weren't getting like the early chuckles when it was like, oh shit, interesting, and then like the punchline paid off. I'm like, oh good. I was like, oh, this joke's gonna bomb. Like literally a couple jokes, like mid joke, I'm like, oh, this one's not gonna work, and then it just worked at the end. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess they were just waiting for me to finish the joke. But yeah, I had a good set. Everybody had a good set. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun little show. I'm looking forward to like maybe doing shows there more. Yeah, we need more chairs though. Like I said, there was only 2 chairs left, so they've almost sold out basically.
Shit.
It would have been standing room at that point.
Yeah, I would love more shows like in Columbia, because it's like literally right across the river. I could get there in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was sick. It was 15 minutes for me.
Yeah, I was wanted to bring my dad. Just I thought it would be fun, but I was like, I wonder if I could weasel like a 5-minute guest spot or something selfishly. But yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
So then, what we've all been waiting for, the moment we've all been waiting for, is the roast. The attempted delivery roast. Well, it's not the attempted delivery.
Yeah, it was not.
I don't want to take credit.
Take the whole roast.
Yes, let's thank Corey Miller for putting this on. Yeah. We'll have him on in February, right before the finals. Like a week or 2 before the finals, which is the last Sunday in February, whatever Sunday that is.
Yeah.
I think the 23rd, but I could be wrong. So yeah, thank him for putting that on. It was at the Den, which is attached to Savannah's on Hannah.
Yeah.
Very distinguished gentleman's club in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
I think it's the nicest one in Harrisburg, as far as
really?
That's what I always heard, but I don't know.
Yeah, this was the first one I've been to since living in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's the first one I've ever been to.
Really?
And I haven't been to it because I never went in. So.
Oh, right.
we were in like the event space, but you didn't go into the
which
strip
also had a stage for that, but it's almost like just like a smaller.
Yeah, it had poles.
Yeah. Yeah, I was been to a few in Baltimore. Some interesting places.
Yeah.
Actually, I lied. No, I lied. When I was doing the shucking artwork, we were working up around Harrisburg.
Oh, really?
And popped into one. It was
to try to sell artwork?
No, we just like were just done.
Yeah.
And actually like got lunch. Like we ate at a strip club. It's wild. Like we were actually just there for the food. Yeah, I think they had like maybe one set of teeth between all the women too.
Nice.
But
A full set? Where is this place? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they had 32 strippers. But no, this so it was a nice place. And so it was set up bracket style. It's like a tournament style, like with brackets. And this was like the second or third one that they had done. So it's been going on for a while.
There was like a second one that was it's a different bracket, and then they're going to combine, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so I get there pretty early. I was like one of the first people to show up. I got there like 6:15ish.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so you got there like, we got there around 6:30. So
right.
Okay.
People started coming in pretty quickly, but I got there pretty early. There was maybe another.
Yeah, it's funny because
there.
I was like looking for you. I was like, oh, I don't see him anywhere. Let's just go in. We were like waiting in the parking lot for like a minute. I didn't see anybody's cars I recognized, but now I realize I didn't know anybody's car.
So I go in and talk to Corey and whatever, and so I'm an idiot. And I did not realize, like, with looking at the brackets, there was like 2 sets of 2 to where the winner of each would then do a second round against each other.
I didn't know that we were doing more than one round either.
The funniest moment of the night for me was not any of the roast or any of the jokes. So I'm just like there. I get a drink. I'm talking to people. Larry Luby comes in. I'm talking to him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there, and then he's like, "Yeah, I wrote jokes about like everybody." And then he was like, and then I don't remember exactly what was said, but he was like the second round. He mentioned the second round, and I was like, "What?" he was like, "Yeah, like whoever you're going against, you're gonna go.
You might
another round."
between
I'm like,
those two people. Yeah.
Yes, and mind you, it's almost 6:30 now, and the roast starts at 7. And I'm like, what? And not only that, some people aren't showing up. Some people bailed the day of. Some people bailed and didn't even bother checking in or saying, hey, I can't make it. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I look at the bracket. The other two, there's you and me, and then the other two is Sarah Cartwright, friend of the podcast, and some Greek fuck who didn't even bother showing up.
Yeah.
Fucking gyro eating motherfucker. I can say it because
God, that still sounded harsh.
I can say it because I am one.
God, you called him a fucker with a hard R.
I can say it because I am one. So I'm like, oh shit, and realizing that I don't have any jokes for these people, and the roast is starting in a half an hour.
Yeah.
So I had the 5 that I wrote for you, and I was all happy. I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm prepared.
Yeah.
I felt so prepared.
Yeah.
And then was like, shit. So I just went, grabbed the table. I had the back of my list of the jokes I had for you, and thankfully Jeff Lawson, who was one of the roasters, he lent me a pen. And I just started like trying to come up with jokes. And
about Sarah.
But not only did I need 5 jokes for Sarah, I needed 5 jokes for the other fucking clown who didn't show up in case in case he won. He won. So I start frantically just like looking at Sarah's like social media, Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of stuff. I had one joke that I've just had as just a generic roast joke for a woman. Like, it's female anatomy. It's specific.
Just walking around writing jokes, roasting women in your head.
Yep. So I knew I had one. So I had to quickly like just find 4 jokes. I'm not going to go into all of them because I think outside of the context of roast, it's just going to sound like I'm making fun of her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You don't have to.
But I'm not.
You don't have to say any of the jokes.
But I did like. I was just trying to find angles. I was like, okay, what's her Instagram handle? I got a good one out of that.
Yeah.
And then
that was very funny.
I went and saw. I went to her Facebook, and one of the first things that pops up on a Facebook profile is the birthday.
Okay, so you just, yeah.
And her birthday was April 25th, 1992. Sorry to put that information out there.
Well,
but it's on Facebook, so it's public.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I read that date, I heard the Sublime song in my head.
That's how you got to that?
April 26th, 1992. So there was a riot on the streets. Tell me, because I just read April 20, and I was like, wait a minute. And then, which is funny because the song is actually called April 29th, 1992. And I started like deep diving, Googling, like, why is it different? Apparently they nailed the song in one take, but Bradley fucked up the date and they just kept it.
That's so funny.
But
that's hilarious.
But regardless, when I read April 25th, 1992, I heard the Sublime song, April 26th, 1992. I was like, LA riots, boom. So
it's been a minute since I listened to Sublime.
Yeah. So that came together, and then, made a joke. She runs the Lager Laughs. Mike got one out of that. And by this time, you would come. Oh, this was the funniest moment of the. That's what I was going to say. The funniest moment of the roast for me wasn't any of the jokes. I had already told. Like, I ran up to Corey after Larry told me there's. I was like, dude, is there a second round? He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. So I had already told him. So. When Corey went up on the mic, as people were there, he started talking to into the mic.
Larry was on mic. He was doing the mic check.
Right. But Corey came up and was like, "Hey, Dick and Sheets, Damien didn't realize there was a second round."
No, that's what Larry did.
I thought
it was Larry.
Okay,
because he was on. Corey might have been off stage, also talking into the mic. But when Larry was on stage, he's like, "Hey, are you an idiot too? Did you think that fucking?"
I thought I remembered Corey saying specifically, "Hey, Dick and Sheets, Damien didn't know there was a second round."
Yeah, I think it was
and
Larry.
I just heard you go, "There's a second round,"
and I was laughing. I'm like, "Oh, there's a second round." Like, right. Okay, sure, yeah, sure there is. Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Oh, he's not fucking kidding, is he?" And then I looked at you and kind of saw your face, and I'm like, "There's a second round."
Yeah, I was yelling across. I was like, come help me write some fucking we gotta write jokes, because between the two of us,
one of us,
as long as we could write 5 jokes for each, either of us could take those to the next round. So we did. It helped that we knew Sarah and she wasn't a complete stranger.
Well, yeah, and also that you did all of them, so it worked out perfectly for me.
But then we had to look up the other guy who has
no social media,
right? Very little. Yeah. We actually did write some jokes. We
wrote 5 jokes for him.
Yeah,
and
just sitting right there at the table.
Show up.
Yes,
when we recycled one,
right,
for the new person.
Well, that was the other thing, is that wrote the 5 jokes for Sarah.
Well, yeah, shout out or fucking props to Sarah, because then she had to face somebody else the first round. She had to write jokes.
Oh shit! Yeah,
she had to write jokes for the first round.
Oh shit! Okay,
for the guy.
I didn't even.
And she won. Yeah,
I didn't even realize that. So yeah, she was in the same boat having to do that shit. But then I had to run to her and be like, "This other motherfucker didn't show up. Like, who are you going against?" So she said, "Bodie."
Yeah.
So I was like, now we have to write another 5 jokes. So it's trying to write 50 jokes in a half an hour.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are strangers who you don't know. So that was wild. And then Bodie doesn't have a ton on his social media.
Barely anything.
So
luckily I knew him a little bit. So
right.
I think I had one just off rip, because it was a generic fucking random roast joke.
So I think we had 3 for him, and then we were it was 658.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's just pray that Sarah wins.
Yeah,
because we have 5 jokes for her.
Because and he said there would be an intermission, so we'd have 10 more minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just did 13 jokes we came up with in a half an hour.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty proud of us for doing that.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. And so it starts, and then it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Obviously some people do better than others, but I think a lot of people had some really killer shit.
Yeah.
Larry had a lot of fucking funny shit. Not only just his roast joke, he had a good transition every time.
Yeah.
Making fun of whoever he was going with, with a name.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one was his, did he go up against Ryan Waddington?
Yeah.
Well, he said Adam Driver with AIDS or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
But
yeah,
I don't know if that was him or not, but he had a lot of stuff like that. It was
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Not even and then going into the roast joke. He had a ton of those. So Yeah, everyone did well, and then we get called up.
Hell yeah.
And then they were asking, well, who wants to go first? And I was like, I don't know. And then where's it? Do you want to go first? I don't know. You want to go first? I was like, let Lori decide because Lori was there, and she was like, you go. I'm like, damn it. And then we did the roast, which went cool. I mean, I'm biased with with the outcome, but
you guys voted right.
But that's not to take away from your set because you had killer jokes too.
Yeah.
The last one I don't think is getting the justice it deserved.
Dude, I don't either. It must just not be funny.
No, it is. People are stupid.
So
I don't know if it's just
yeah, I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, well.
So here's the thing. We were so busy writing jokes that we forgot to. Now it's a strip club, so you cannot record video at all or take pictures because it's it's like literally like legality things.
Right.
If anybody were to use audio or video or photography there, he would have to get like a waiver from every person in the building.
Right.
Because it's like an adult. I don't know. Right. Either way. So we were going to record. We were just going to do audio. We fucking forgot to record audio. Yeah.
That's the problem, see, with being so smart that we're handling the big problems and we just forgot about the thing that we had been teasing for the last month.
Yeah.
So
I record all of my sets. This is like it's one thing for you to forget because you always forget.
Right.
Like every podcast, you're like, oh man, I didn't fucking record my set.
Right. And I'm always mad at myself for doing it, but not mad enough to do it the next time.
Yeah, and I do it every single time. And totally forgot.
Yeah, we were just scrambling to write the jokes. So,
but
so yeah, we did not record.
But like Damien said, we pulled some strings, and at the open mic last night at Phantom Power, we re-roasted each other.
Yes.
So
yeah, we're gonna play that, but first let's finish up with the that night.
Yeah.
So I did move on. 4 people moved on, and I'm an asshole because I don't remember the other name. Or two.
And it works out better because you ended up going up against Sarah. Right. And it's only fair because it would have been kind of funny if I would have won and then took the jokes that you wrote and went up against Sarah. You know what I mean? Like that would have been like kind of hilarious just to win and then steal all the jokes that you sat down and wrote while I did nothing.
We should shout out the judges. So Corey Miller, obviously, he put this together. He hosted, and then the judges were friend of the pod, Damian Robinson, Dom Driscoll, who has yet to be a friend of the pod, and Eddie Diesel, who I just met. He was super cool. Just met him that night. So 4 of us moved on. 8 actually, but 4 of us moved on. So it was Raf Amir, Larry Luby, myself, and Dalton Gross. So we'll be doing the finals. But then each judge and Corey had it was like a second chance. I don't remember what they called it, but it was like kind of like a second
battle spot or something like that. Yeah.
So hilariously, Damian Robinson chose you.
Yeah.
And
shout out, thanks, Doug.
And Eddie Diesel chose Sarah Cartwright.
Yeah. I forget. Dom picked the guy that wasn't Dalton.
Okay.
I forget that guy's name, but he was funny.
Yeah.
But that's who he picked, I think.
Yeah, so that'll be in February.
And what's
which I was like,
yeah. So just like a Steelers, I fucking made the wild card, and there's a chance I might win the whole thing and not deserve it, because that's what the Steelers do.
It was kind of like I like that idea, like a second chance thing, but at the same time, I'm like, what if I go against you or Sarah again? Do I do the same 5 jokes? Do I have to come up with another 5?
Yeah, I guess at least if you go up against Sarah, you could write maybe better ones. I mean, the ones you wrote were really good anyway.
Right.
But you wrote those in like a fucking... We were prepared for each other.
Right.
So it's like, I fucking don't think I can come up with anything else for you. I already did 5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually had like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
and one I absolutely could not do. I feel like I went pretty hard.
Yeah.
On mine, but
I thought they were all hilarious.
There was one that I was like, it was funny, but it was like, I don't know if I would ever come back from it. I think you would be fine. Just because you're a psycho, you have comic brain too. Like it would roll off your back. But I have too much love and respect for Lori. It wasn't even about her, but it was just like it. I'm not even going to tell you ever.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Because I probably will tell her. She kind of she.
I think she'd be fine, but at the same time,
it still sucks saying stuff like that.
It's bad if I don't feel comfortable saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That is true.
And I did run it by Kate and Joanne. They were like, no. So, yes, believe it or not,
I want to know.
Believe it or not, I did show some restraint. So that'll go with me to my grave. And but yeah, I did have like 9 or 10, then whittled it down. I ran some by Brooks, and he kind of helped me tweak a little bit here and there. But the Sarah ones were just on the spot. But somehow, luckily, like she had great jokes too, and like when me and her went, so I thought that was like a toss up. It could have gone either way. But
yeah, it was close, and it's cool because like that's a fair one. It was like close, so that's like a fair one for sure to have like a wild card spot or whatever.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, she definitely deserved that. So
yeah, and we both got like some pops on them, but like I had definitely out of the two of us, the one joke definitely bombed both nights too,
which is so weird. I don't
know. I mean, I get it's dumb. You guys are gonna hear it in a second, but like,
are you talking about your last joke? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is a very good, well-written joke, and I don't think it got what it deserved.
Yeah, well, it wasn't well-written the first night. We'll talk about it afterwards, because then it'll be in context, but...
Yeah, the tweak that you did to
it made sense.
Yeah.
And it still didn't work, so it must just be...
I think it's the people.
Yeah. But
I thought it was good.
But, yeah, moving on from Savannah's... The venue is pretty sick. It's it's like almost in and around. It's like kind of like an oval-shaped stage. Uh-huh. And then there's like 4 sides, so like it was weird to have to like I was like trying to deliver the jokes to everyone at the same time,
right?
And it'd be fun to do a show there, just a regular show there, to really like fuck around,
right? I liked this whole process because it was kind of like an exercise in joke writing, especially trying to do the challenge of trying to like a time limit, That was kind of wild, but kind of fun. Like the challenge, the challenge of that, like, oh shit, it would have been more fun if there would have been like easier to look up like the other people's. Right. But like with, I mean, I did. So everyone who was part of the show got free admission to Savannah's. I did pop over for a minute. I think Corey just wanted the place to see like the people there actually coming in, patronizing, like, you know, buying a drink and that kind of thing. So I did pop in. It was super nice as far as strip clubs go. It was a nice big open room, like with a tall ceiling, which I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. I'm used to fucking night shifts in Baltimore, where they're like on the bar in front of you and they're fucking snatches like 2 inches from your beer. But this was a big spread out room, and I just went in. I talked to Damien Robinson for a few minutes, and then talked to Sarah for a few minutes, and then I just bounced.
Nice.
Had to get home to the wife and kid and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think there's anything about that. I just wanted to make sure we finished up the.
Speaking of writing jokes on the spot, fucking Rafa Mir murdered. He ended up going in the second round. He ended up going up against Corey. Right. And he fucking. I mean, I don't know.
I think they just did that for fun, didn't they?
Oh, I think he was automatically gonna. They did just do it for fun, but I think he was like automatically gonna progress. But he would have anyway. Right. Because he fucking. I mean, it was like. So good. I mean, it was like so good. Right. And I can't remember. I hate how good they were and how much I can't. I remember one of them. I'm not going to say somebody's joke. Maybe he'll use it another time. But yeah, I mean, he like fucking killed. They were so good jokes. And like he wrote them in like 15 minutes also. Like in between the rounds or whatever.
Yeah. He crushed. I mean, obviously he moved on. I really liked Aaron Schultz's joke, the Jets, like the West Side Story reference.
I didn't get it. It was too smart for me. I did not get that reference. I literally said to you guys, I'm like, why is that funny? And you're like,
well, if you haven't seen West Side Story,
exactly.
you wouldn't get it. But
But
that was pretty funny. Did we hit everything on that night?
I think so.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just want to make sure we finish that, and then
I think so.
So, like we said, we did not record that night because we were busy trying to cram some jokes
crazy.
in. But luckily, we know some people at POV at Phantom Power, and we just kind of like commandeered the mic.
Yeah.
Not really. It was just one spot. We were kind of like right in the middle, which I think was good. Like Brooks was hosting the mic. And he kind of put us in the middle. It was like, look, we want to run these roast jokes. It would have been like, sure, we could have just come on here and just said the jokes back and forth.
Yeah, but it would have been like, I don't know.
Without the context of an audience and a roast and like knowing that it's like, it would just be us reading jokes back and forth. And it wouldn't hit as much. So I guess, do you want to just play it?
Yeah.
And then we can talk about talk about it afterwards?
Sure.
So we're going to play that now, and then we'll rejoin you after.
Word.
Enjoy. This was for you. This was round 2 of our roast. It's the same jokes, so we just wanted to run them. But full disclaimer: it is the day after, the night after, let me just shut the fuck up and play it. Attempted Delivery is brought to you by
us. We do not have sponsors, but we'd love some.
Indeed. So if you do enjoy the podcast, please like, share, subscribe, so we can grow this thing and quit our jobs.
Let's get back to the show.
All right, guys, we got a special thing happening tonight. These next 2 comics fucked up last night, so they railroaded the mic tonight to take it over and use it for their selfish purposes. Do we like Sean Dickett Sheets in this room? Do we like Sean Dickett Sheets? Yeah. Do we like Damianopolis? Yeah, he does. Well, what if these 2 fucking idiots came up at the same time, guys? What? For a roast battle of each other. 2 of the ugliest, dumbest fucking people are gonna come up here and be like, you're fucking... Give it up for Sean and Damien, everybody! Here they are. Who wants it first? Damien goes first? What, is he handicapped?
Yes. Age before beauty. Sean's girlfriend is 60 years old. So when his mom had cancer, it was a race to see who was going to die first. But Sean wasn't worried. He knew that either way, he would still have somebody to fuck.
Oh, man. Damien has a very unique style of comedy. He has dark jokes, he has silly jokes, but he tells them all with the confidence of an abused shelter dog.
Sean loves Taylor Swift, which is fitting because his girlfriend is from a different era. His mom had bad blood, and his head is a blank space.
Damien is a mailman and a comedian, but he's also a father. Him and his wife actually had to do IVF so that they could have their first child. So apparently he can't deliver mail, jokes, or a baby.
Sean was peeing so frequently that he went to the doctor thinking he had cancer, and the doctor just said he was too hydrated. So at least he makes somebody in his relationship wet.
As you can see, Damien's very smart. He's very smart. He has the intelligence of a scholar, but unfortunately, he has the sex appeal of a book.
Did you write that one? Sean has always admired the work of Chris D'Elia, Louis C.K., and Bill Cosby. But he was surprised when he found out that they also do comedy.
So me and Damien do a podcast together, and but whenever we go out to dinner together, he never picks up the check, which is why I call him Jew Carey.
Sean says he finds a lot of inspiration from Chris Cornell, but I don't fully believe him. When he puts a rope around his neck, he just masturbates and lives.
Damien is a guitarist. When he was young, he would play guitar with a pick. But now the only pick he uses is Ozempic.
Boom.
That's it.
Thank you for humoring us. Sean and Damien, everybody, give it up for them. All right, let's see. Who thinks Sean won? Nope. Who thinks Damien won? Yeah. Damien, the guy that doesn't come to mics, is fucking funnier than Sean, dude. He's here every week. The meanest roast joke tonight. Damien doesn't fucking come, and he beat you 2 nights in a row. And the Steelers lost to the Browns. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh yeah, we're just recording.
Yeah. Yeah, that Ozempic joke just didn't.
There was a missed opportunity there when he said Damien doesn't come and he beat you 2 times in a row. It's like, wow, sounds like my wife. But anyway, but yeah, I think there was a delayed laugh. I think it took people a second.
Maybe, but it's still for sure. That's if it was one joke that made me lose, that's the one. Both nights. Because it didn't work the night before either, and the thing is, I rewrote it.
Right.
Because
it got laughs. It just took a second.
Yeah.
So I think the second version was better for sure.
Yeah, it made sense. The first version I wrote didn't. It's like so dumb. I don't know why I wrote it the way I wrote. like he used to play. He used to finger pick. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't have to do that. I could just say guitar pick.
Right.
Like, yeah, it was like
It was
way
too
too
specific
wordy.
and like the strum.
Yeah, and it was unnecessary.
Right.
I literally thought that on the drive home. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why did I think that was the way to write that? But yeah. No, yeah, you earned it.
So that was it, folks. That was us trashing each other. But I know you got a lot of shit for like 2 nights in a row. But like, let's remember at the end of April, like you did beat me in 2 actual comedy competitions. So I think you're better at
It
just
wasn't
like
101. It wasn't 101.
well,
I'm kidding.
true, but I think you're better at just like actual comedy. I'm just better at being an asshole. I think
You're just a bad person.
I think
I'm just nice, guys. I'm just too nice now.
yeah, I think I'm just better at being an asshole. I think that's what we learned this weekend.
Yeah, that was the week. Like, yeah, and I thought I'm trying to think because the one joke Drew basically wrote, probably the best one, the one delivering a baby.
That was one of the best ones. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask what we should say. What our favorite jokes
Yeah,
were for each other. Like, did you have a favorite of?
Did I have a favorite? The one I basically didn't write is probably the one that is my favorite. I'm trying to think.
Well, no, I was gonna say, did you have one of mine?
Oh, my favorite. Oh, I don't know. Yours were so good. The fucking Taylor Swift one's really funny, even though Eras isn't a song. Technically doesn't fit.
Well,
in the structure.
I know. Work, but
I know it's funny. I know.
I wasn't
That's
sure.
the only. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not even a negative. It's just me talking shit.
I didn't know about that one. I wanted to do something like that, so I had to go through her list
Yeah.
of songs and find jokes that would fit. And Black Space fit for that.
It's so fucking
but
funny.
I didn't know if anybody knows that song because I was asking Kate. I was like,
Blank Space.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's like one of her biggest songs.
Tell that to Kate because she was like, nobody knows that song.
Oh,
She
that's
didn't know.
funny.
Right.
No,
But
yeah,
she's also not a huge Swiftie. She
Well,
likes her, but she's not like.
It's top 10, 100%.
Really? Okay.
100%.
right.
And it was the number one. It was like the second it was basically the second single off of her, like one of her best albums.
All right.
So yeah, for sure. Like when that album
I'm
came
glad
out,
I just decided to do it then. So.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you're
Because
right.
I figured even if not, it would be.
It still you still
in
get the
context.
context.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
for
don't
sure,
need.
for sure.
I'm sure a lot of the people didn't know that song.
Right.
because they're.
But I know the Eras tour just happened.
Yeah,
and Bad Blood was a huge thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bad Blood, it might be like equal to Blank Space.
Okay.
Blank Space was just more of like a ballad kind of.
Okay.
Not that like all Taylor Swift songs are love. 75% of them are love songs, but it was a
75?
slower. 95.
I was gonna say, name me one that's not.
Some are revenge songs. No, but no, yeah, Blank Space works. That was like they had a music video and stuff. It was one of the biggest songs on that album.
Okay.
Perhaps I would say second. I feel like Bad Blood got popular more. I don't know, but yeah, for sure it works for being one of her most popular songs.
Right on.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if it wasn't in top 10. But yeah, no, that one's fucking really funny. And it's just funny. It's funny because of how like how niche it is. It's even funnier. It's funny in general terms, and then it's also funny for like a Swift fan because it's fucking it hits the nail on the head. So funny. Bad Blood. And then but I do think the first one might have been my favorite, but the racing to the finish line, it's just such a crazy thing to say. It's
I figured come out swinging. It's like, all right, what can I do?
It's funny because I didn't. I came out with like one of the less crazy ones.
Okay. I bookended. So
Gotcha,
I
yeah.
started with like I started with you fucking your dead mom and ended with you autoerotic asphyxiating.
I think that was probably the one that you got the least pop from, but a lot, probably just because they don't know who Chris Cornell is. I feel like it worked.
Everyone knows who Chris Cornell is.
I don't think a lot of people do. I guess you think.
What?
I mean, everybody knows who Taylor Swift is.
Well, sure, but everyone knows who Chris Cornell is. For 100%.
No, I don't think
100%.
so. You think?
Yes.
I bet there's a lot of people that don't.
I don't know. Soundgarden was fucking huge.
Yeah, but young people.
Black
you know
Hole
what I mean?
Sun was like...
I'm looking at like all of the people too, like young people. Like I bet there's a lot of people my age that don't know who Cornell is. And then
I can maybe
and then every
maybe see
decade
that,
it
but-
probably drops by like 25%. I feel like.
Maybe, yeah. But I don't think that's too niche. It's not like, you know...
No.
It's not like it was
But
like...
they also might not know how he died either.
Right.
But either way,
I think there's enough content.
yeah. You figure it out. You figure out the context pretty easily with that one. Yeah.
That was fun. Like I said, it was a fun joke writing exercise. The time element at the actual roast was
And I fucking
a
I
fun
wrote
challenge.
I'm trying to think of because I wrote 2 that day.
really
The Shelter Dog one I wrote that day.
already. That was good.
Because I was like, all right, confidence. Make fun of his confidence. What's not confident, and that's like the only thing I come up with.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah, and then the Ozempic one I wrote that day, and I still think I get it's very dumb. I don't
think
that.
it's dumb.
I think it's dumb as shit. I think it's like just a stupid way to like you know what I mean? I don't know,
Right.
but it did surprise me. In hindsight, it didn't surprise me why it didn't work the first night, but I expected it to work last night,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it didn't
for
really.
sure.
It
I don't think it got what it deserved,
Well,
but
that's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, even if that would have been replaced with a better joke, I still think you would have won. You were more consistent across the board. Yeah, Drew Carey was just saying something fucked up.
I
Just rhymed. Which, yeah,
honestly, I'm not surprised, but until that joke, I forgot to expect a Drew Carey
joke.
a reference or something. I was like, I should have expected, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, and I that kind of like landed in my lap. Just I don't know what made me think of Jews while I was thinking of Drew Carey, but like I was like, there's no way I can write a Drew Carey joke.
Right.
Like who the fuck knows anything about him besides The Price is Right? Now I have to make like a Price is Right reference,
right,
which probably wouldn't even be that hard, but I just didn't
right.
really fit.
Maybe something with the bill because you said I didn't pick up the bill or something.
Yeah.
That could have been something.
Well, that was just to call you cheap. I was just
Well,
I had
right.
to make up a reason. We've gone to dinner once together.
if I was quicker, I would have come back with that. Like, well, the price was wrong. It was like, or something.
Oh,
like
that would have been hilarious.
That would have been something to come back.
Yeah, that
with.
would have been a good comeback.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like I had some good comebacks with Sarah's.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what I just like.
a couple times you made a couple.
She just set it up pretty well. There's one like about attempted delivery, and she's like, "Well, when I listen, I attempt suicide." So I said, "Keep trying."
Yeah.
That one got a pretty good pop.
Which that was a really funny joke that she had. I laughed.
Yeah, for sure.
Laughed hard at that.
For sure. And then what was the Tarantino one? Like he loves Tarantino because like the so much use of the N word or something.
It's
like
good. Yeah, it's a really good one.
That was really good. So then I got to tag on. Well, don't forget the feet, like and the feet.
Yeah.
So I felt like I got some pretty good responses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know. Like I said, leading up to the roast, I was like, I don't know about doing a roast because like I don't know the line between just being mean. Like people were making fun of me because I apologized to Sarah like immediately after. I was like, I'm sorry, because I don't like. She's so nice. She's cool. I don't want to like actually shit on her.
It's way,
but it also is a roast. So like it's
and I don't even think she would have been. Right. You know what I mean? Like she's fine, but it's funny.
It's borderline sexist of me to apologize to her.
Yeah.
And not apologize to you for insinuating you were fucking your mom.
I'm still waiting for it. I don't know where it is.
Keep waiting. But yeah, maybe it is borderline sexist that I would apologize to her and
I'll admit I am sexist against men. I don't have any compassion towards men, and I just feel bad.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm just compassionate and more. I like that angle.
That's my angle.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
And it'd be so much easier to make fun of somebody you don't know,
right?
Because it's like now the feeling we know Sarah's a sweetheart.
True.
It's like I don't want to make fun of somebody I know and have like a good relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Like the one joke.
It's a stranger. It's like, listen, we don't even know each other. This is fair is fair.
That's true because the one joke that I was like absolutely not. I would 100% do to a stranger.
Oh, okay.
It's literally because it might be like crossing a line that I was like, like I can't help that my brain thinks of it. But at least I can be smart enough and mature enough to be like, no, that doesn't need to be said.
Well, you ran it past people, so you weren't too smart and mature.
Well, because I didn't know about my own gauge. I ran it past them because I was second guessing it. And I was like, nah, confirmed. Yeah. Trust that instinct. But overall, it was fun. I'm glad we're still here and the podcast is still standing.
Very fun.
We survived.
Very fucking funny.
Like I said, I wasn't sure about roast because like I can handle it, but I'm also I think I have a sensitive, thick skin, if that makes any sense. Like even Kate was like, "Are you sure you're gonna be able to handle him saying mean things?" I was like, "He has to handle all the shit I'm going to say too." So like, I feel like people outside of
hindsight, mine weren't that mean.
I think people like who just aren't around comics like constantly or in that like it does seem mean. She's like, "Are you gonna be able to handle it?" It's like, well, yeah, he has to handle the horrific shit I'm gonna say to him. I once I had the final list, I sent the list to my friend John. Yeah, and he was like, "Jesus, he's gonna punch you in the teeth." I was like, he's gonna say just as horrific shit about me too. So like, I didn't
know. I didn't, guys. You heard it. I was trying to be clever, play with words, and he's just fucking my mom now. It's crazy.
Oh, that just reminded me. I think I partially tanked my set on the Friday show at the Zotropolis.
Oh yeah,
because Brooks brought me up by saying, "This guy thinks he's my dad, but he looks like my mom." So which got a laugh, and it was funny. But when I came up, I just said, "I'm not your dad. I'm just the guy that's fucking your mom," and it was silent.
That's funny.
I thought so, but
really, of course,
that crowd did not think so. And then I think it was hard for me to bring them onto my side.
That's very funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you just reminded me because I totally forgot about that. I think that it didn't. I don't think it necessarily like tanked my set, but it certainly didn't help.
No, yeah, it can't.
Because it was just
first impression does not help if it's not good.
Yeah. I was like,
for sure that did. For sure that didn't help. I mean, it had to be a net negative. Like you weren't going up neutral anymore. Drew lobbed it up for you, and then, even though I disagree with the crowd on that one because that's hilarious. That's the best comeback, or the best. You know what I mean? Of course, that's what you said.
Right.
I mean, not that it's obvious, but it's clever. It's funny.
Right, but I think just people were like, well, like maybe they didn't know like we knew each other or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like
he made fun of you first. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fair game because it was a response,
that's hilarious. Yeah.
But yeah, bummed.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? Oh yeah. Also, I forgot to mention. We can put the blame on me for not recording. I forgot to record the entire show on Friday or Saturday.
Oh really?
Yeah, I set my camera up in the corner, and it was like facing me in the corner. That was like a good angle. That was like out of the way, so nobody was like gonna knock my camera over.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't realize that. I know that when you close the flap, this is how much I don't know about cameras. I know when you close the flap, it turns the camera off.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that if you press record and it's recording, you could close the flap while it would record. No, it fucking shuts the camera off still. So I press record, red lights on, all good, close the flap, go sit down. And I got 12 seconds of me going, and then closing.
That's what you did tell me that.
Yeah, that was the set was me, like my half of my head, and then that's it. I was like, dude, that's so stupid because there's all like if you pull the eyepiece out, you can shoot from the eyepiece.
Okay.
But you have to pull the eyepiece out if you want to close that flap and still record. I'm like, dude, come on. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't like I mean it wasn't like an incredible set or anything. Uh-huh. It was fine, but like it was, it definitely had better sets. It's not like. But I was still like, that's annoying. And I felt bad because I was going to like give Tyler his set. And then I was like, hey, about that giving you your set thing, not going to do that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that like if you press record, it would just record. You'd think it'd override that. I don't know. I'm criticizing probably every camera ever, and it's definitely me. I'm the problem.
User
it's me.
error.
Yeah. That was a Taylor Swift reference that you didn't get because you're not a fucking fan. You just use her for your little jokes.
Yep.
No, I do think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a toss up between those two. The first one and the Taylor Swift one's really fun. Calling my head a blank space is so funny.
That one, to be honest, that one came together pretty quickly. I just like Googled like Taylor Swift songs. The Eras one I already knew.
Sure, yeah.
But then I was like, Bad Blood, boom.
Yeah.
And I originally, like, I sent that one to Brooks, like, what do you think about this one? He's like, that would be a good one to end with. But I realized in the first joke, I set up that the age thing and your mom already in that joke. So the second joke almost like just piggybacks off of that. If it came at the end, it might be far enough away. People might not even remember the first joke.
Exactly.
So like, I was like, nah, it's got to go after that one.
And you wanted to start with that one, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did. I kind of made mine like an arc. Mm-hmm. And then I was actually a little behind the scenes.
Oh, right.
I wasn't expecting, but I was anticipating a Keanu Reeves joke. Mm-hmm. So I had the Drew Carey joke at like the second to last. Is that where it was?
Yeah.
And I was like, if he fucking gives me a Keanu one, mm-hmm. I'm going to follow it with the Drew Carey.
Right.
So I was, you know what I mean? Because I figured it would sound like I came up with it. It would be like it would fit really well after,
Right. That was a possibility also. There's one of like the
one was a generic one that I had written, the intelligence or the sex appeal of
that
the
one
book.
was fucking funny.
It is fun, but it's funny because it's funnier that I didn't write it. I didn't write it for you. I wrote it as just a roast joke.
Right, you can apply that to.
Yeah, I wrote that when I was just in the mood for. I was just writing roast jokes, and that one was one of them. So I was just like, I'm gonna. So that one's just not even a good roast joke for you in particular. It's just a roast.
But it was
joke.
still a great joke.
Yeah.
With Keanu Reeves, it was my original joke, which I think I've even said to you, like, yeah, everyone says you look so much more like Keanu Reeves, but you look so much more like your hero, Chris D'Elia. But
Yeah.
but I had already
Yeah, for sure. You have said that on the podcast.
right, and but I wanted to use that in the other joke, and I didn't really necessarily want to use Louis C.K., but like he's more recognizable as far as like name.
Yeah.
But then I had to throw in Bill Cosby also.
And they're all comedians, so
Right, and not everyone might know Crystalia. Like comics would know, but like maybe like the average fan might not know.
Yeah.
So and then it was like, oh, do you look like John Wick? But or no, you're more like Ted from Bill and Ted, or so.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. But I just was really happy with those five. So
that would be a funny. That would be good stuff for like a roast, like a set roast, like a full set and yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that in case I wanted to use it if we end up going against something the next.
Now
one,
I know. That doesn't change anything. It's still audience participation. You know what I mean? They got to vote on it. So same thing technically. If there's different judges,
that's true too. Yeah,
and I just thought of that.
Yeah. I not to like toot my own horn, but I think in both rounds, all three judges, I think it was unanimous in all.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In both.
Well, that's because it was unanimous. I would have voted for you as well.
I don't know. You had good jokes, and Sarah had good jokes. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it's just whatever happens at the moment. It's subjective. Like it easily could have gone the other way. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Perhaps. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have to have done different jokes. That's the only way it would have gone. I would have to do a better.
I'm trying not to like Kanye this. Or like I'm the greatest and I was so great. I'm not trying to toot my own horn.
Well, we're in Harrisburg, so it's not the greatest. There's no greatest anything. No, but you definitely did. They were all better, and they were like more consistent, and also more like. I realized that they were kind of like more roastier. Like I don't know, the abused shelter dog's like kind of roasty, but it's not even that offensive. You know what I mean? So like you did the best at being like smart and then also fucked up. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you want.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's my brand.
Yeah.
Too smart, but not using it for any good purpose. Oh shit! I guess we can wrap up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you, Corey Miller, for putting it together.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, judges, for voting for me. It is cool that you and Sarah are also still going to be in the next round. I would also like to shout out Andrew Pollack for not joining this one. This competition, so everyone else has a chance.
Was he on the? He might be in the finals or something. Maybe.
I didn't even think he might have been in the first. God damn it!
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know who was. I never saw that bracket, so I don't know.
I wasn't smart enough to think about that.
Yeah.
Well, at least he wasn't in this night. So.
Yeah. So now he's just gonna win that one. Yeah.
God damn it. Yes. Shout out that. Shout out Savannah's for having us. Real quick, pop quiz. Since this is we're releasing this a day early because of Thanksgiving. Probably should have said that up top, but I think the fact that it will be released is obvious. But that's the reason we did it. So you could suffer through your day of work before Thanksgiving. But real quick, top one, bottom one, Thanksgiving food.
Oh, do you know yours?
I know my least favorite.
Okay,
but
do your least favorite, and I'll do my least favorite.
Least favorite
Mine's easy.
is fucking sweet potatoes with marshmallows.
Okay, I thought you were about to say sweet potato pie, and I was going to stab you. Fuck your jokes. I don't care about.
Well, sweet potatoes in general are like fuck off.
Oh my god, you have the worst taste. I mean, like
I have the best taste of food.
You lost that one. You lost that poll. You won the roast poll, but you did.
Sweet potatoes are okay, but the to put marshmallows on them.
I'm not a fan of marshmallows. I'm not a fan of marshmallows in general. Do you like marshmallows?
I like marshmallows just fine.
So it's not the marshmallows.
But sweet potatoes are already sweet. To make them sweeter,
I agree with that.
I will take a sweet potato and put a miso butter and make it more savory.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they're good, but I would still rather just have a russet potato or yellow or any other potato really.
Yeah, but then it's not dessert.
Potatoes aren't fucking dessert. They don't need to be dessert.
They can be. The sweet potatoes are dessert. That's why they exist. God created. No, No, yeah, sweet potatoes are
But
good.
pumpkin pie is
And they're also healthy too. They're like not that. They're not
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean. It's like pretty sweet. It's weird how sweet they are.
I don't hate them like I do Swiss cheese.
Yeah,
But I'm just like
that's
I would
out of
rather
all
just
the-
have mashed potatoes.
Well, if I want potatoes, it's mashed potato.
Exactly.
But
But if there's mashed potatoes
Like
and gravy,
sweet potato
why do I
pie.
also want sweet potatoes and then marshmallows
yeah,
on the
marshmallow.
side of like?
I agree. I agree with the marshmallows.
I feel like it's just to get kids to eat the shit. Like, why make it?
I thought it was just because I don't really like marshmallows.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought that it was just like a meat thing.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not
I think it's a pretty divisive dish. I think people either really love it or just like get the fuck away from me. I don't want
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah, I can't believe it's least favorite.
yeah.
My least favorite, and it's probably just because I don't like it, is cranberries. Like the cranberry sauce.
I will second that with a caveat. I do not like homemade like with actual cranberries.
You like the shitty cans.
I like the fucking shitty can where it plops out and it still has
Yeah.
the rings from the can
So
on
you like
it.
high fructose corn syrup now. I don't even know if that's
Doesn't
yeah,
everybody?
I don't even know if that's in that.
That shit is good. Yeah, that shit is good.
That's so funny.
I do like that. That's actually one of my favorite parts because everything else is so rich and heavy. They were actually talking about this on the Dave Chang podcast.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is your only relief from like the rich heavy food. That's like the only acid.
Oh, I fuck with that rich heavy food.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I never have the.
But it's
relief.
nice to have that little acidic. Like that's the only acid on the table.
Yeah.
Is the cranberry? So you have all the gravy, you have the stuffing, like
That's
all the
why
heavy
you drink
potatoes.
apple cider.
True. Or wine or whatever.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
But I do like the can, but don't waste your time with fucking making
Lori
homemade
makes it.
cranberries. Like
Lori just did that.
I'm sure she does, and I'm sure it's
You're gonna
amazing.
call her old. You're fucking
No, I'm-
talking shit on her cranberries.
No, I'm sure hers are
Yeah.
actually probably amazing.
This podcast is over.
Did I finally just cross the line?
That's the line. Making fun
That
of
was-
Lori's cranberries.
That was the joke I fucking cut. It was like I was gonna just make fun of the cranberries. But
that's the joke. Her cooking sucks. Kate's like, no.
So yeah. My least favorite is so yours is cranberries like
It
across
just-
the board.
it just
Do you
has to
not
be-
even like the can?
Nope, none.
Just none of
I
it.
don't like.
Okay.
I don't like fruit. So it's almost like it's almost like a free space, blank space because my fucking brain. It's almost like a free space on a bingo card for me. It's like the only thing I don't like. Besides, what's some of that? I don't like. It's probably equal with or tied with cranberry sauce and fucking what's that shit? Any of that fruit cocktail shit with the is there marshmallows in that too, or is that that's a
Are you
Christmas
talking about like
thing?
ambrosia?
Yes,
Is that-
that's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, it's
Fuck ambrosia salad. I don't like that, but it's also because of the fruit. I don't like fruit,
right.
so that's just. But yeah, no, yeah. What's your favorite?
That one's tough. Turkey, I think, is overrated the day
I think turkey's underrated because I think it was overrated, and with like online culture, people talk like mad shit on turkey these days.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah,
But I think it's overrated the day
I think
of.
it's better left over.
I would much rather. I like the sandwich the next day.
Yeah.
When you have the rolls, you got just a little mayo and the turkey, dark meat, of course.
Yes, I can.
Just like with chicken, dark meat is better than white meat.
What do you want to hear a fucked up food take
kind,
that I've
kind
never?
of kind of with people too.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You want to hear a fucked up food take that I
What's
don't
that?
think I've never heard any other human being do this? I will eat turkey. I will dip it in sour cream.
I have never heard that in life.
Yeah, I'm the only one that
No
does
wonder
that.
you like Swiss cheese. Just turkey and
I'm
sour
not
cream.
the only
Like,
one that likes Swiss cheese.
is it? Do you dip anything else in sour cream, or literally like
No,
you
I'll
like
put it
the
on a
combo
potato
of,
or whatever. Yo, yeah,
turkey
I'll put sour cream on my plate and dip turkey, pulled turkey like from from Thanksgiving, and I'll dip it in sour cream.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now,
I would try it.
no, I do that. But I
I
also
would try
love
it.
sour cream. So
I do too. I would never think to put it on turkey, but I would.
no one does.
I would try it.
I think
I'll
this
try
is one of those things that you do as a kid, and like I still fuck with it. It's like one of those dumb, weird things that kids do, and I I just kept doing it. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it so much. I'm thinking about it. So I'm so happy it's only like 2 days till Thanksgiving because I'm so hungry for dipping turkey in sour cream right now.
Is Zach? Wait, did we say our favorites?
No, but that's not my favorite.
Oh, okay.
That's not my favorite.
What is your favorite?
My favorite. You can say your favorite, but unless it is turkey.
No. I was gonna say. Yeah, I guess that's what derailed it. I do like the next day or even like the later evening.
Yeah.
Turkey sandwich, but I think, and it's not a Thanksgiving side for everybody, and it actually wasn't for me growing up, and maybe that's why I want it because it's different.
Yeah,
but mac and cheese,
no shit.
I think that might be one of my favorite side dishes
that's
of
not
all
a Thanksgiving
time.
Food,
but for some people, it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've never.
I've heard a lot of.
I've probably always had it and just didn't notice it was there because it isn't a Thanksgiving. I didn't think of it as a Thanksgiving thing. But you're right. I think I have always had that.
I do like a really good stuffing, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, fucking stovetop is better than anybody's homemade stuff.
I don't like stovetop better than Lori's. But
I would put money on Lori's being better. I would. Yeah. Without even tasting, I know Lori's is better.
Maybe
but 9 times out of 10 with.
But
other
sometimes
people,
you just can't beat like especially when there's nostalgia attached to it. It's like if you grew up with stovetop stuffing. I grew up always with my dad would have made the stuffing also.
Okay.
So
it's got to be dry though, because you're gonna put gravy on it. I hate a wet stuffing.
I like a wet stuffing. You know what? You know what
but you're gonna put gravy on it anyway.
You know what
so
we
you gotta
do?
be dry to soak up that gravy.
I don't put gravy on it. I don't really do a lot of gravy, which is probably why I do. As a kid, that's what it is. As a kid, I never really liked gravy as a kid. So for that white meat, you kind of need something, and I picked the whiter thing. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. I bet that's why I do it because I never liked gravy, and I'm like, fuck that, give me sour cream. That tracks.
It's wild that you go from that to that. Like,
it's true, very true. I was a very dumb kid.
There's probably very many condiments that I would try before sour cream.
Ketchup. But some people fucking love ketchup on turkey.
I would have done that growing up.
I was never super into like I like ketchup, but I was never like fucking like that. Yeah. One of those ketchup people. But I think my favorite is stuffing.
Okay.
But I will say this: not in the turkey. Filling balls.
Huh, alrighty.
So it's a balls. We do the balls of filling and then bake them.
You're fucking one of these inbreds that call it filling and not stuffing.
I do call it filling.
Okay.
Is that, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just another verb.
I know it's the same thing, but just like, to me, it was just always stuffing and then moving up here.
Oh, really? Is that an up here thing?
Yeah.
Listen, I call them dippy eggs. So imagine my surprise. Now when you go to a restaurant and they're like, what the fuck did you just order? Dippy eggs? What are you saying?
Is that on the kids' menu?
Yeah, it's not. They didn't even know. I remember ordering it quite a few times. Nice. Yeah.
Well, I think we found our poll. I was just going to do a generic Thanksgiving one, but I think we'll do turkey with sour cream, yay or nay, and see what people think.
Well, no one's going to know, though. We might have to do something else because nobody's going to...
Well, if they actually listen... Like you should.
If they would have to listen, and then tomorrow you guys would have to try it.
Right. Well, everyone's got leftover turkey for like the next week, so.
True. Yeah. So try it. It's good if you like sour cream. So white people, try it. This feels like one of those white things. It's not going to be like.
Oh, that's for sure some white people shit. That's for sure some white people shit.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we've gone long here.
Real quick, lightning round: sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Neither.
Oh, Jesus Christ! End the fucking podcast.
Pumpkin pie is so fucking overrated. It's okay, I guess. I'd rather have a lemon meringue pie, which I know is not Thanksgiving at all.
What are you, Italian?
Italian.
I don't. Isn't lemon meringue Italian?
No.
It sounds Italian or French.
Meringue, I believe, is French.
Doesn't sound Greek. I know that.
No.
That's what I'm getting at.
No.
But neither is pumpkin or sweet potato pie.
I don't even want to look at a sweet potato pie, let alone eat it.
That's so crazy. I actually prefer sweet potato pie because there's more like texture to it. Lori made like 4 pumpkin pies, so I guess I'm not getting sweet potato pie this year. but yeah, I actually do like
pumpkin pie. I'll tolerate, but I do
just don't like.
I do not get
fall.
excited for it. I love fall. I was born in the fall. I love Halloween.
Do you like?
I just don't like sweet
pumpkin
potatoes.
Spice.
It's all right. I'm not like a basic bitch about it.
Do you like apple cider?
Yes.
Okay.
Apple cider, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure.
Pumpkin pie.
Think about it. It's okay.
I prefer sweet potato pie.
I just don't get excited for it. I'm not like salivating waiting for it. I'm like, all right, if that's the only thing and you're putting it in front of me, sure. But I'm not like excited.
I've been
about
trying to eat right, so I haven't had pecan pie in a while. I should try and. I generally, it's so sweet though.
I generally don't like pie. There's like 3 pies that I'll eat. I like a lemon meringue, a key lime, and like a chocolate cream pie. Other than that, just not a big pie person.
I'm a pie person over a cake person.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, podcast over. We survived the roast, but pumpkin pie is where we draw the line. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. The turkey wasn't the only thing that got roasted this week.
He's been waiting all episode to say that.
No, actually, I just thought of that when we started talking about turkey. But anyway, until next time.
Hell yeah.
See you next Thursday.